Hi, this is Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com, and this is a trading tutorial for our xBrat range breakout indicator. I'm going to be using gold during the European Open, the pit open. For this example, you can manually set the labels for any data points, whether they be European, US data points, or even Asian data points. So everything's adjustable. But right now, one of my favorites is to trade that European gold pit open. First of all, like every chart that I make, put together, I frame the chart. So look at major support and resistance zones. You see the top of the zone here. The bottom of the zone is this big pivot that rejects. The top of the zone is this pivot here. Very, very simple. That forms support and resistance zone. We've got similar down at the bottom here. We've got a lot of touches here. This is a good zone. Top of the zone are these pivots here, this triple bottom, and then this further pivot down, and then there's another one down here. So it's about framing that chart so you can understand where that support and resistance zone is, because sometimes we get that opening range in or around support. So we need to be mindful of that to help us with those potential entries. So I'm going to play this forward. First thing, let me just talk you around this. So we label it. You can change the name of that label. You can put XAU Europe, you can put whatever you want really. But the main thing is that tag changes color. So at the moment, that opening range, that first 5-minute candle after that gold pit open at 8 AM European time, has a bearish sentiment. So what it's telling you is only look for the short breakouts, because they're going to be explosive. So if it comes out of there, and we'll see in a minute, to the upside, it's probably going to run out of juice. So you're only interested in the shorts, but also we identify that range with that opening candle, and that's colored in red as well. If it was in yellow, it's neutral, so you would look for both longs and shorts out of there, like a straddle type trade, or even just stay away because there's no real direction. If it's green, you're only looking for the longs, and again the tag would be colored in green. So let's just play this forward. As we can see, we do break out of the upside of that channel, but we have to stick to the rules. We're only looking for shorts. The opening range has been defined. It's still red, so let's play this forward. Turns to yellow here, back to red, and we're starting to come back down into that opening range again. You see now that this, the defined range from that open is red, so we're still looking for shorts. We have to be sensible though, in that we've got this support which that opening range found, and it went back up again, so we need to enter just below there. Let's play this forward a little bit more. Again, coming down into this zone, still red. There, breakout, big candle, higher than average volume, because I've got the manager on here just to show you that. It's a big distribution candle. It's explosive, and it breaks out of that opening range, breaks through that support, and we're in the trade. Another big move down there, got rejected, comes back to test that opening range and that support and resistance zone, and then eventually we move down massively. Okay, so this is not necessarily trading that initial opening range, which can happen. I'm going to show you an example on that in a minute on the DAX for those European traders, but it's continual. So we've defined the range. We said at the open we're only interested in shorts. It does go long, fine, not a problem, but we've got to stick to the rules. So when it comes back down through the range goes from yellow to red, so the short sentiment is back on. We're looking for that range breakout, and it's very explosive. Comes down here, and that is from the sensible conservative entry at that point down there. That's a 60 tick move. Okay, 60 tick move on gold is a great breakout trade. So that's an example of gold, and we use 5-minute on metals and energies for that. And again, it's about that opening range sentiment, and then continuing to define that opening range for further trades going up through or down through, and that sentiment and breaking that range. Very, very powerful. Next I'm going to look at today. This is the DAX. With indexes we look at the 15-minute time frame. So we identify that range on the 15-minute time frame here. This is the London stroke European Stock Exchange Open here. That first 15-minute, you can see here, I'm British, so I just call it London. It could be European Open or whatever. You change the label. The main thing is the tag is red. The range is red. So even though it tries to break out to the upside, you ignore that breakout because it's telling you should only be looking for the short. The range above it is from the previous New York session open there, but really we only trade the DAX for the European session, and this is where we are right now. This is a massive trade. So we've got that first 15-minute candle. It tries to push up, it fails, then it breaks down below and breaks out of this opening range trade, and it's still going now. We can see that majority of these candles on the 15-minute are higher than average volume. There's some big bearish sentiment, and that will carry on into for the US indexes, into the US Open as well, because the DAX is leading the way during the European session. So this is a big trade. How many points on this one? Approximately 1,406 points, so pips. So this is 140.6. So this is a massive trade here, but it's that opening range breakout. So there's no European data this morning. We just look for that opening range. We use 15-minute on indexes. It defines the range, the software. It tells you only look for the short because the label is actually in red. The defined range is in red. Look for the short breakout, go. Then you can use the manager. Now, how to use the manager in this is there's different ways. Now we've had this parabolic move. We could change the manager. At the moment it's a moderate. We could go day trading aggressive here. So what we're looking for to manage this trade is obviously we're going to be looking back for support and resistance zones, but the main thing is the bias cloud on the manager is still red. So that says that we should be still looking for shorts. Also what we'd look for, if I just go back a little bit, we see a green candle with a cyan dot above. That's higher than average volume. If we had 2 consecutive candles like that, that would be our aggressive entry out of this short trade. At this moment in time, we're higher than average volume going down. So one of the things we would do right now is probably just pull out a break even, just to to cover off any potential losses in case we get a massive rebound. And then what we'll do is, as we get, we go 2 candles behind. When this candle closes, we would probably look to go above the cloud for the manager, above this second candle here. So about that point, so we'd start to lock in profit. Again, we can tighten that stop if we get bullish moves up with higher than average volume. The idea with the manager though is if we get bullish moves up with lower than average volume, we tend to ignore those. We make sure we're risk free, but those are sort of low volume pullbacks against the main trend of the day, and the manager helps us manage that trade. So 2 great trading opportunities there. I just walked through step by step the longer version, if you like, where you get that initial opening range on gold, and it went against the sentiment, but eventually it came back down through that opening range, and it was a massive trade to the downside because the sentiment was down. This was a more simplified version, and it can happen on gold as well, on the indexes and on currencies. You get that at the first initial range, the tag is red, the range is red, only look for the short, and 4 candles later we get the entry and it goes down, and it's still going down right now. So 2 different types of trades using this xBrat range breakout indicator. But again, those are the types of situations that you're going to find every day trading with this xBrat range breakout indicator. Hopefully that helps. Speak to you all really soon.